up in Rockport. Those are people that, I'm 79 years old this month. Those are people that knew me 70 years ago, called me Billy. People that knew me when I was 14 started calling me Wilbur. But I'm a townie. What's that? I'm yelling. So I joined the Peace Corps in 1970. I was first assigned to Libya. And then a guy named Muammar Gaddafi overthrew King Idris. So I was reassigned to Kenya. And I was supposed to go teach. And they took me out, way out into the bush and dropped me off at a hut. And a man named Mtakunywa lived in that hut. And he asked me what I was doing, and I said, I'm here to teach. And he said, we have no school. So I wrote my mother a letter. Dear Mom, we need help. She published it in the Gloucester Daily Times. The good people of Cape Ann raised $5,000 in 1970. They sent it to me, and that founded a school. The only secondary school that served the Watharaka tribe of 250,000 people. I was the first white man to live with them. The first students were 22 students. They lived under the trees at night. We had no dormitories. We had a big pot that we cooked maize and beans in, and they ate one meal a day. 54 years later, I'm still working to build that school and a girls' school. There are 6,000 graduates from that school. Thank you. So I spent 3 years living with them. I lived on the Kathita River, above a hippo pool, in a tent. I didn't know that hippos kill more people than all other animals combined. We had crocodiles. I couldn't leave my soap out at night because the hyenas would eat it. It was a very hardy environment. So I became passionate about Africa. I came back to the United States. I worked in Vista. I created a program called the Program for Local Service that was the model for AmeriCorps. I did a whole bunch of different things, but my heart was still in Africa. I joined the African Wildlife Foundation. I was on the board for 27 years. I became the chairman. We were all about empowering Africans to take care of their resources. Everything about Africa should be taken care of by the Africans. I spent many years there. I worked with Nelson Mandela when he got out of prison. I met a lady here from South Africa just earlier today. That's just a bit of background. So why do we have this sculpture garden here? We bought this house 33 years ago, and we bought some land across the street. There were briars here, so impenetrable that there was no way you could even walk in here. We have a guy named Peter Chick. His sister went to kindergarten with me. Peter's been our caretaker for 33 years, and he's the game warden of this game park. So Peter started with a handheld clippers to cut back the briars. 20 years he did this. He found this granite outcropping. He said, this is pretty neat. We walked around, we found all sorts of things. We found old stone walls. We found where people had quarrying granite. So we decided this was a very, very interesting piece of property. So my wife said to me, while Peter was doing this and I was doing this, she said, why are you doing this? I said, because we are going to build a sculpture garden. It came out of my mouth. I had no reason to say that. I had no idea what sort of a sculpture garden it would be. So, a month later, I get a letter from Patrick Bergen, another Peace Corps guy from Tanzania. He said he had been to Zimbabwe and had seen a Shona carving of a large, abstract, 3,000-pound lion, and that I should buy that. He sent me pictures, and I said, aha, the first inhabitant of the sculpture garden. So we bought it. It was sent by sea. The crate got to Hamburg, Germany, and fell apart. I had to send another $1,000, and they created a new crate. The piece arrived in our driveway. We uncrated it, and it was broken into 3 pieces. So what does one do? This is Rockport. There's got to be people here that know how to deal with rocks. So Anthony Sciamantaro, a local granite worker. I said, Anthony, come to my house. He came to my house. He looked and he said, what do you want me to do? And I said, we want you to perform surgery. So he got out his pneumatic drills. It was lying in 3 pieces. In the eyesight, he would drill into the legs. He would drill into this. He would drill into that. And he had these big, long titanium rods. He put the animal together again. Then we got Mike Clay, another Rockport guy, who puts up signs. He picked it up and he brought it into this field. We put plywood across here. We backed it all the way up, and we located it right over there. That's the king of the jungle. You see the lion?
Yep.
The abstract lion? So that's from spring stone from Zimbabwe. It's not as hard as granite, but it's a comparable material. So that was the very first piece that we bought.
Good, how
It
you
looked
doing?
great there, but it looked lonely. So we contacted Dominic via text message, and we said we want a pride to go along with the king of the jungle. And they showed up. They showed up, not broken. So what did we do? We got Mike Clay, we backed the truck up, and we put each of these down with Stevie Goodek drilling into the granite ledge on this property. We didn't have to build any of this. The granite ledge was there. So we placed one there, and we were doing this all real time. Let's put another one here, let's put this there, let's do this, and that's how we created the pride. Right there. That was our first thing. Then we bought a lioness over there. We bought the lioness to protect the pride from intruding people. That lioness is really tough. If anybody wants to screw with a lion, pick the lion, the male lion, because he's not going to hurt you. The girls do bad things. They are seriously tough. So we bought her, we put her there, everything was coming together, and then we noticed that there were certain things missing. So what did we do? We bought the lion over there. Have any of you ever seen Wizard of Oz?
Yes, exactly.
Does the name Bert Lahr ring a bell? Go look carefully. That's Bert Lahr. Just like Bert Lahr. And then you see there's another lion, a lioness, behind the trees there. And she has a cub in her mouth. He did that amazingly because he knew we needed to have children here. So then we bought the mother and the baby, and we put her, that was impenetrable. Peter had to work for about 3 months to clear all the briars out of there, and we put a piece of granite up there and we put her on top of it. And then we bought another sculpture over there called Playfulness. So everything came together, and it wasn't a grand design. It was, what do you have, Dominic? What do you have? We bought this elephant. You see the ear there? It looks kind of odd. That's an abstract elephant. The brown is the top of the quarry. These pieces of stone are called slag. Any of you know about granite quarries? You know the big piles of rock that they discard? That's called slag. Well, in Zimbabwe, they have a quarry that they mine this springstone with, and they take the stuff they don't want and they throw it in a pile. The artists go, look at the pieces of stone, and they say, what does this look like? So they take the stone and make it into what it looks like instead of the other way around. So that's why these things are all very interesting. So elephants. Did you all know that elephants have their breasts in front of their front feet? Well, take a look. That's how the baby's eating. It's another interesting thing. So we have children that come here from all over our neighborhood. And one of the things that we love most is having people educated about how wonderful animals are. And this gives people an opportunity to visit with these without having the fear of, you know what, difficulties. The three pieces over there playing hopscotch, leapfrog, those pieces, Dominique sent those to us, and a friend of ours in Manchester by the Sea had a big fire pit on the water side of his house, and he wanted to get rid of it, and it weighs 4,000 pounds. There was no way to get it. So what we did, we hired a crane that could reach all the way over the house, pick it up, put it on the truck, and bring it here. But then we got it here, we couldn't get it off the truck. So we had to go find Kachopoulos with a big machine, so he took it off the truck and put it where it was. Then we had to get from where it was over to here. But that idea was to put these creatures, these children, playing leapfrog on that.
Did you carve it there? Or was that?
Those were all carved.
Oh, they were already there?
Yes. So one of the interesting things about this sculpture garden, this animal preserve, is the ledge you're sitting on. And so as we cleared the brambles out, this fescue material, all the grass, it volunteered, it came here. We didn't plant it, it showed up. And the fescue began to grow and grow and grow. And as the wind would come every season, it would blow the seeds. Now the fescue goes all the way across our property into the woods. The granite outcroppings, we cleared them off. So this was a natural setting. If you were to hire a landscape architect to recreate this ledge, it would cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. But nature did it. We cut out all the dead trees, all the old trees. The fescue got wilder and wilder, and this became the natural animal preserve that it is today. So, the Rockport Garden Club is an institution. We felt we should support it, even though we don't welcome people to walk up here. We originally did, and then you know what happens. People came and they didn't respect the property, so we had to put up these fences. But we have a special request for you. If you have a grandchild or a granddaughter, somebody that's really sensitive and wants to see some animals or really thinks this is a wonderful thing to do, you can bring them here. But you have to be very careful. Don't do it often, but come and bring them here and introduce them to these. Don't put them on the animals in case something happens, because we're very nervous about it. But that's the story. It's a story about little Billy James going to Africa.